Okay. Yeah. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to this live session. My name is Kofi. So today I will work on exponent expression, so basic concept. So let's share my screen and we will start. Okay. 1 minute. Perfect. My screen. Okay. I hope you can see my work. So feel free, to ask question, okay, or participate using the chat. I'm here to help you. Let's check something. Okay, perfect. So yes, you can be good at math. So don't think like math is a crazy subject. No, it's not a crazy subject. It's tricky subject, yes, but it's not crazy. Okay, so let's first of all understand the concept of exponent. So here we have a different key points, right? The first one they say in 2 to the third power. Okay, the base is 2 and the exponent is 3. Yeah, so this is a exponential, right, expression. So the 2 is the base. Yeah, 3 is the exponent. For example, if I have a 4 raised to the third power, 4 here is the base and the 3 is the exponent. Okay, let's continue. Now if you have a 2 to the third power, this is what? 2 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 2. And that gives you 8. Mistake, common mistake. People think like, oh, when you have a 2 to the third power, this will be 6. They do 2 multiplied by 3. No way. No, 2 to the third power is 2 multiplied by, you multiply the base by itself. And we repeat this the number of times you have the exponent. Yeah. So that means what? If I have a 4 to the third power, I will do 4, which is the base, multiplied by the same 4, multiplied by the same 4. So I did this 3 times. Yes. So that gives you 64. Yeah. That's the way, you understand it. Now, if you continue, they say a number raised to the first power equals itself. So if the power is 1, the answer is that number itself. So for example, if I have a 4 raised to 1 power, the answer is just 4. So 2 to the 1 power, okay, is same as 2. We continue. A number other than 0 raised to the power of 0 equals 1. So a number other than 0, that means the number we choose a here number, but we not choose 0, right? We don't choose 0 as the base, but the exponent could be 0. That's what they're saying here. So I can choose like 4, which is not a 0, but the exponent could be 0. Okay, the answer is just 1. I could take 17, which is not a 0. Okay, so a number other than 0. Okay, 17. But if the power is 0, so if I raise this to 0 power, okay, the answer is just 1. But this point is tricky. We'll see later. Now, the next one, they say a number. This is the challenge part. A number raised to a negative exponent is equal to a fraction with a numerator of 1. Yes. So when you have a number, okay, raised to negative power, like here we have a 2 raised to negative 3. Okay, we're going to turn this to a fraction. And for the fraction, the numerator of the fraction will be 1. And now you have the denominator as what? 2 to the third power. So there is no negative sign for the power. After you change it to fraction, no negative sign for the exponent. Okay, and when you evaluate, you have a 1 over 8. Remember that 2 to the third power is 2 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 2, which is 8. That's what we have with this fraction. So we'll try to do some practice questions, okay, like here. Yep. And that will help you to better understand the concept. So there is a challenge question. Yeah, I will do at the end, and I can add more, okay, based on the way you participate. Okay, so before we start the practice question, okay, again, let's see if there is any question in the chat so far. No question. So again, feel free, okay, to participate, ask your question or answer my question. So if you are watching this, okay, after the live, yeah, again, feel free to, put any kind of a question in the comments, which will help you to understand it. But please remember to like the video and share. So, okay, if you are not one of my subscribers yet, okay, please, I want you to subscribe. So that can help to get more questions like this. So question number 1, they say, which of the following expressions has the least value? Least value, so small value, right? Smallest. You want the smallest value from all of this. Yeah, this is a question you can have in GED or HiSET test, okay, math test. So to solve this question, the first thing to do is try to rewrite each expression so you can see clearly. For example, A, they say 3 raised to negative 3 power. Okay. The power is negative, right? The exponent is negative. Therefore, if I have this 3 raised to negative 3, I change it to a fraction, like the rule said. Okay. So this will be 3 to the third power. So the denominator of the fraction is 3 to the third power. The denominator is 1. Okay. Now look. 3 to the third power is not a 9. Instead, 3 to the third power will be 3 multiplied by 3 multiplied by 3. And that gives you what? 27 in the denominator. So A, we have 3 to the negative 3. Okay. But this is same as 1 over 27. Okay. Now, we have a 4 to the 0 power, right? 4 to the 0 power. Remember, again, we have a number raised to 0 power that gives you 1. Okay. So we have 1 here. We continue. 4 raised to 1 power. This is 4. Remember, again, a number raised to 1 power is that number itself. And the last one will have a 2 raised to negative 4. So again, I will turn this into a fraction. So that will be 1 divided by 2 with positive 4. Okay. Remember again, this is what? 1 over, we take a 2, you multiply by 2, you multiply by 2, you multiply by 2. Yes, so multiply 2 by itself, we repeat this 4 times. And now if we do the calculation, you have a 1 in the numerator, but the denominator is what? 16. Okay. Now let's compare all these 4 answers I circle. Now you have to understand, because they want the lowest, okay, value here, 4 is not the lowest. So 4 is out. 4 is out, and that 4 is from what? C. So that means C is also out. 1 is not the lowest. Okay. 1 is out. So that 1 came from what? B. Okay. Now we are between 1 over 27 and the 1 over 16. Understand that every time you have different numbers, right? And you have some fractions where the numerator is 1, the denominator is more than 1. This is telling you that the value had to be something less than 1. I repeat. The reason I cross out the 4 and the 1, say that, okay, they are not the smallest, that in the 4 answers, I have 2 as a fraction, right? Where the numerator is 1, 1, but the denominator is a number which is more than 1. So every time you have a fraction where the denominator is more than the numerator, that means what? That fraction is a value smaller than 1. the reason I say, okay, 4 is not the smallest, 1 is not the smallest. Now let's compare the two fractions. Every time you have two fractions, right, the numerator of the two fractions, okay, is the same. So here it has 1, 1. So you just focus on the denominators. Now the thing is this: the fraction with the largest denominator is the smallest. So this is telling that 1 over 27 is smaller than 1 over 16. And this is what 1 over 27 is from A. So A is the correct choice. So D is not the correct choice. Okay, to again explain this, let's take something simple that will help you to understand. Let's say that I want to compare. Let's use money, right? I like money. So let's use money concept. Let's use dollar as a currency. Okay. So suppose we have a $1. And say, okay, you know what? Divide this $1 to, 4 kids. So 1 divided by 4. Okay. And divide $1 to 100. So let's make something everyone can understand. So $1, okay, divided by 100, and $1 divided by 4. Okay, so here we're gonna get what? 0.25. So $0.25. So everyone is getting here quarter. Okay, in this side you have what? So 0.01. So which is 1 cent. So penny. You see, penny. So if you have $1, which is 100 penny, you divide to 100 kids, each kid will get a penny. But the same dollar for 4 kids, each kid will get a quarter. So do you see that the denominator here is more than this denominator? Therefore, this one is smaller. So that's the concept here. Yes, I tried to explain this clearly so that would not confuse people. In case you have a question like that, you know that you can do it easily. Okay, let's see the next question. Question number 2. Again, let's see if there is any question in the chat for me. Okay. Yes, okay. Hello, Furnace A. Okay. So, again, feel free, to ask question, okay? Now, question number 2, they say evaluate each expression. Leave your answer with no negative exponent. So, let's ask you, Furnace A, okay? Suppose they ask you to solve this question. What do you think gonna be A? When you have a 3 raised to the second power, we say 3 squared. Okay. One moment. I'm having trouble here, right? Oh, good. Okay. Are you here, Phoenix A? Okay, no problem. So let's solve it, but feel free, to answer the question or ask question, using the chat. So when you have a 3 square or 3 raised to the second power, this is same as 3 multiplied by 3, and that gives you 9. So we take a 3, we multiply by itself, okay? And we have 9. So 3 to the second power, please, again, is not a 6. It's not 3 multiplied by 2, no, because this is a common mistake. That's very important to understand the concept. We take the base, we multiply by itself, and we repeat this the number of times we have the exponent. Okay, B here is challenge. Let's use a different color so to make a difference between what I'm doing. So here we have a -3. So that -3 we have it in parentheses. Yes, we have it in parentheses. That means what? You take a -3 parentheses, you multiply by the same -3 again in parentheses. So the base here is -3 in parentheses, and we multiply by itself. We repeat this 2 times. Why? Because the exponent is 2. So -3 multiplied by -3 gives you +9. You have to understand that in math, negative sign multiplied by another negative sign turn into positive, and 3 times 3 is 9. C. Let's see here. C is different from B. Why? Because B will have the negative 3 in a parenthesis. C, the negative 3 is not in a parenthesis. That means what? We will not repeat the negative. We will not repeat the negative. I will keep that negative sign, which is this, but only the 3 I will repeat. So 3 multiplied by another 3, because I have this 2 terms, okay? The exponent is 2. So the answer will be negative 9. Yes. Yes. Very important. You have the negative value in the parentheses as a base, okay? That's what you're going to use to multiply by itself. You have the negative value, but they don't put it in the parentheses. Only the number you take without the negative, and we repeat that. But the negative will be affected to, affect to the answer, the final answer. Okay, let's see here. In this case, D, we have negative 3, again in a parenthesis. But look, the power is negative. D looks like a B, but the difference here is that we have a negative exponent for D. Therefore, the first thing to do is to rewrite D as a fraction. Remember again, okay, we rewrite as a fraction when the exponent is negative. So the last point here. That means what? Okay, sorry. We're gonna rewrite this expression as 1. So the numerator is 1, okay, divided by. Now the denominator will be that negative 3 raised to positive 2. Remember again, what we change when we turn the expression into fraction is the negative exponent, we change it to positive. Now, if the base here is negative, we don't change that to positive. No. Now, the next step, we have the same 1 in the numerator, but the denominator will be positive 9. Remember again, when you have a negative 3 in a parenthesis squared, which is the case here, we take that negative 3, we multiply by itself because the power is 2. So we multiply by itself. So we have this just 2 times. So the answer for D is 1 over 9. Okay. Now let's see question 3, which is similar to question 2. But here, I changed the exponent to be 3 and the negative 3. Okay. Again, let's see what is going on here. Okay, no problem. Again, feel free, okay, to participate if you join the session. Yeah. Understand that in this case here, we're going to take a 3, we multiply by 3, we multiply again by 3. We multiply 3 by itself. We repeat this 3 times. Why? Because the exponent is 3. And the 3 multiplied by 3 is 9. 9 multiplied by 3 is 27. So the answer here is 27. So far, so good. Understand that for B, we have a negative 3 in the parentheses, right? So that means what? We're going to take that negative 3. We multiply by the same negative 3. We multiply again by negative 3. So we repeat this 3 times. Why? Because the exponent is 3. So look, negative 3 multiplied by negative 3 turn to positive 9. And positive 9, we're going to multiply by the last negative 3. So positive 9 multiplied by negative 3 turn into negative 27. So the answer to this question is negative 27. Yes. So understand that we multiply the negative sign here by another negative sign to turn to positive, and we multiply back by another negative sign, and that go back again to negative. This one here, we have a negative 3 raised to the third power, but the negative 3 is not in the parentheses. That means what? I will keep that negative sign. I will not repeat it when I'm doing the multiplication. No. Why? Because it's not in a parenthesis. So that negative sign is not anything with the base. It's negative sign, apart. So you just multiply the base, which is 3, by the same 3. by 3 again. So this gives you what? Negative 27. So we keep the negative sign. We do 3 multiplied by 3, which is 9. 9 multiplied by 3 is 27. So the answer is negative 27. Yeah, you'll see that even negative 3 is not in parentheses. Yeah, let's see the difference here. Even negative 3 is not in parentheses. Okay, the raised to third power. Here, negative 3 is in parentheses, the raised to third power, but we got the same answer, negative 27, negative 27. If I go back to question 2, okay, B, we have a negative 3 in parentheses. C, negative 3 without a parentheses, but we don't get the same answer. We get a 9 here, which is positive. We get negative 9 here, which is negative. What is the difference? The difference is this. When you have a negative number in a parentheses, but the exponent is even, E-V-E-N. The exponent is even, okay, that will turn the result to positive. I repeat, every time you have a negative number in a parenthesis and you raise to a power, right? And that exponent is even exponent, even value, okay, that means what? The final result will be what? Positive. Yeah. Now, if you have negative number for this B again, negative number in a parenthesis, but the exponent is odd, ODD. The exponent is odd, okay? So the final result will be negative. So that's the way you can make the difference between these two expressions. Okay, let's continue. Yes, the challenge question. Yeah, before I do this challenge question, no, that's fine. I have another question after we finish this. So let me recall the rule. They say a number, okay, raised to a negative exponent is equal to a fraction with a numerator of 1. Yeah, and we have the example here. So 2 raised to negative 3 is equal to 1 over 2 to the third power. So we change to positive, and we have a 1 over 8. Now, this time they say evaluate 1 divided by 2 to the negative 3 power. Yeah, yeah. So what we think going to be the answer? Let's see if furnace A is still here, and let's see what you can get. Okay, no problem. Yeah, so this is a challenge question. So if you are watching this video after the live, okay, I will suggest you stop, you pause the video, okay, you pause the video, you find the answer before you see how I will solve it. The answer to this question is just going to be 2 to the third power, and that is 2 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 2, which is 8. So in sum, 1 divided by 2 to the negative 3 power, okay, is 8. Simple. Now let's explain it. What is going on here? Okay, so the idea is that when you have 1, okay, to write it like this so you can better understand. This is 1 divided by 2 raised to negative 3 power, right? Okay, this is same as 1 divided by 1 over 2 raised to the third power. Understand that this, okay, is okay, and understand that division here is replaced by the division bar, and I use it like that so you can see clearly why 1 divided by 2 raised to negative 3 power is 8. Okay, we continue. So do you know that 1, I can write 1 as a fraction, which is 1 over 1. Anytime you have a number and you want to turn that number into fraction, just divide it by 1. That means what? If I have a 7 and I want to rewrite the 7 as a fraction, it's going to be 7 over 1. If I have an 8, I want to turn 8 to a fraction, it's going to be 8 over 1. Okay, so it's just a quick recall. Now, why I turn this into fraction? So again, you can see clearly what I will do here. So 1 is a 1 over 1. And we have the other fraction, right? Okay, so we have it divided by 1 over 8. So understand that the denominator 2 to the third power is 8. So I have a 1 over 1 divided by 1 over 8. Now there is a rule in math saying that every time you have a fraction divided by another fraction, right? So you keep the first fraction, so K, keep. You do not change C. You change the division to a multiplication. And you flip, so F, the second fraction. That means what? I keep 1 over 1, okay? So I keep this 1 over 1. Instead of a division, I will do multiplication. And instead of 1 over 8, I flip it. So flip it here means you switch. The numerator becomes the denominator becomes the numerator. So I have 8 over 1. Okay, therefore, having 1 over 1 multiplied by 8 over 1, so multiplication between the fractions, is to do multiplication between the numerators and then multiplication between the denominators. So that gives you 1 multiplied by 8, which is 8, 1 multiplied by 1, which is 1, and the 8 divided by 1, remember, you have a number divided by 1, is that same number, right? Okay, so 8 divided by 1 is 8. The reason is this. But let's tell you something. You don't need to do all of this before you solve a question like that. Just understand the rule like this. Okay. Every time you have a fraction, okay, so you have a 2 raised to, let's keep okay, let's say something different. Okay, so just switch. You have a fraction where you have a numerator or the denominator with a negative exponent. Every time you have a negative exponent, okay, the rule is just to switch. So here you're gonna have a 2 to the fourth power. So when you switch, the sign change, and then you have a 1 bottom. 2 to the fourth power is 2 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 2, which is what, 16 over 1, and the answer is just 16. So let me give you another example. Suppose they say 2 over 3, okay, raised to negative 3 power. That's another question you can have. So 2 over 3 raised to negative 3 power. Okay, this is what? Because it's a fraction with a negative exponent, you also rewrite this as, you flip it, so it's going to be 3 over 2. After you flip it, the exponent will not be any more negative. That turns to positive. And this is what? You take a 3, you raise to the third power. You take a 2, you raise to the third power. So because I use a parenthesis, that means the negative 3 here as exponent is for the entire fraction. So the top is not a 9, but 27. The bottom is not a 6, but it's 8. You see, so yeah, that is something you can have. Okay, let's again give you another challenge question. So suppose you have a negative 3 to the 0 power, and you have a negative 3 to the 0 power. Okay, what will be this? What will be this? Yeah, there is a key point. Let's go back. Okay, they say a number, this one here. A number other than 0 raised to the power of 0 equals 1. Yes, a number other than 0 raised to 0 power equals 1, right? Okay, so people will say, oh, the answer for negative 3 raised to 0 power is 1. The answer for negative 3 in parentheses raised to 0 power is 1. Okay, the thing is this one, yes, is 1. Because you have a negative 3 raised to 0 power. Okay, for the first one, the answer is negative 1. Understand that only the 3 is raised here to 0 power. Only the 3. Only these 3. The negative sign is not included. Here, together, negative and the 3 together are raised to 0. That's why it's 1. But in this case, only the 3 is raised to 0 power. So 3 raised to 0 power, yes, is 1. And you keep the negative sign. Okay. So I just want to stop on this basic, okay? This basic, because we need to understand the basic before we do, any challenge question. So overall, understand that practice, makes perfect. Yeah, you have to practice, and yep, you will be good. Again, if you are watching this after the live, so feel free to leave any comment. I will see you in my next live. So enjoy your day. Bye bye.